Yeah, so if you could just make sure that they're all switched on. Oh yeah, the tries can be on auto, that's okay. Have you got a radio with you? Okay. Yeah, I'll be out soon. I've just got hi, I'll be a minute. I've just got an interview to do for the new role. Yes. Yeah, the weather is meant to get worse. I know it's raining at the minute. It's meant to be thunder and lightning as well, so if we could just double check everything. Yeah. Has the Dinosaur been fed? You might want to do that now. Just because sometimes when the lightning strikes, the hatch opening for the feed can go a bit dodgy. Alright, yeah, I'll be round in a bit. Hi, sorry about that. Yes, very nice to meet you. My name's Jen. Yeah, so you're interviewing for the new staff member, right? Kind of an all-rounder. Well, that's the same as what I do. I'll be your line manager. Yeah, so, I mean, most of the time you will be spending in the gift shop, which is why I decided to do the interview here. And it says here that you worked in a museum before, is that right? So the fossils and things are what got you interested. Okay. Well, yeah, looking at your CV, this all looks great. I will just be asking a few questions if that's okay. Yes. So, yeah, sorry, so it'll be in the gift shop, but it'll also be in the nursery sometimes. Yeah, you won't be expected to look after any of the newborns, but we do public tours twice a day that go through the nursery. You will be expected to go with the tours. Eventually you'll be leading some tours if you want. Yeah, you can progress to that, that's fine. You will be expected to go with them to start with, just to make sure that none of the members of the public actually touch any of the newborns. At that time of their growth, it's very important for their immune systems and things that people don't come in and touch them. I mean, we do have the disinfection systems and setups all in place, but we don't want, outside germs and things coming in. Yeah, once they're fully grown and they're put out into the different enclosures and the paddocks and things, they're okay to be touched. Well, some of the herbivores are okay to be touched. Obviously you can't reach in on any of them that we don't want you to handle. But I'll get into that. I've got some details about various dinosaurs and things. Yes, so just a few questions. Have you worked with large animals before? Okay. And were any of those considered dangerous? Okay. Well, obviously, here at Jurassic Park, we do have some dangerous animals. At the moment, your position won't be expected to do anything with those. You might be expected to go and fill up a couple of herbivore feeding stations, just things like the grass and the hay for the Triceratops or the Brachiosaurus or something like that, but you'll never be expected to feed any of the carnivores. Yes, we are extremely well trained to do that. Yes, so everything else on here looks fine. So as I said, you'll eventually do tours and things. If you want to do that kind of thing, we offer the training so you can do tours of the park. You can do tours of just the dinosaurs, or you can do tours of the lab, or you can do like a version of all three. You can also use the monorail that we have, and you can do tours on that if you didn't want to do them outside. Yeah, more like a point and kind of telling people what we have here, because that's kind of the main way to get into the park. You will be expected to point out things like the restaurants, accommodation, the gift shop. Yes, we obviously want to try and sell. The majority of our visitors are actually more than happy to pay a little more. As the tickets are quite expensive themselves, they tend to be a little wealthier. Yes, have you been before? Have you visited? No, okay. No, I hadn't before I started working here, so I'll make sure to give you a tour, maybe when the rain lets up a little bit later. Yes. And because we are an island, obviously, staff do get their own accommodation. You'll be working 3 weeks on, then you get 2 weeks off, and then you come back. All of the transport to and from the island is totally free. And I'll show you where your accommodation is later. It's just over in the village. It's where the general public can't get to, so you definitely have a break whenever you go back to your cabin. Yes, so safety is our #1 priority. Obviously, we have all the electric fences, we have various alarms. Yeah. Oh, is that your phone? Oh, that's okay. Yeah, okay. Where was that? Oh, yes. So alarms and things will go off. We obviously have the usual things for theme parks, like emergency stops for the rides. We have fire alarms in every building. Electric fences to keep in the larger predators. So the T-Rex, the Velociraptors, they all have electric fences. You're thinking about the original park all those years ago, yeah. Look, I'll be honest with you, that was a complete disaster. We here obviously pride ourselves in continuing John Hammond's legacy. This is what he visioned when he thought about Jurassic Park. And we want to create a safe space for everybody, which is why we have all the protocols in place. Everything is safe. We have rangers who are armed. We have the electric fences. Yes, you will have noticed as well, I know from our last park, Jurassic World, that also didn't go really well. Oh, that's just some of the transport heading off. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Yeah, so Jurassic World was, think of it as like a beta test. And now we're on the final park, which is fully operational. Nothing can go wrong, trust me. We have everything in place. Every dinosaur is fitted with a motion sensor. We have motion sensors all over the park, so we can count the dinosaurs, we can tell how many dinosaurs there are. We solved the problem of the amphibian DNA. Did you hear about that? Where they were able to reproduce because they used amphibian DNA. That's wiped out now, so all of our dinosaurs are female and unable to reproduce, so we can in fact keep track of all of them and where they are at all times. The transport, yes, so we've gone back to how it was in the original park, and you might think that's a bad idea, but it's actually much better. We had the gyrospheres in Jurassic World on our other island. They were, from the start, never going to work. It meant that the general public had control over where they could go amongst the dinosaurs. And even though it was generally for the herbivores and the herd animals, these are huge, extinct animals that can be unpredictable. They shouldn't have been allowed to be so close like that. So what we've done is go back to the fixed transport system like in the original park, where you get into a vehicle, that vehicle is controlled from our control room, and it moves through the park at a certain speed, pauses at different enclosures so you can have a look, but you're locked in the vehicle and you can't get out. If the power fails, which it never has, but if it happened to fail and the backup generators fail, the doors remain locked. Yes, there's nothing where visitors can get out and go a bit closer to have a closer look. Nothing like that. Well, before I get into more of the dinosaurs, I'll just show you some of the things that we have in the gift shop, because I know this is where you're going to be working. It's generally where most of the day visitors end their trip, so we want them to end on a positive and we want them to end opening their wallets. So we have things like party supplies. I've got some of the napkins here to show you. Most of our merchandise leans towards the Tyrannosaur. That's just the one that people tend to enjoy. You might have heard in Jurassic World, the second park, they were experimenting a little with hybrids. Indominus Rex, not a good idea. We're sticking with the original dinosaurs. Who's going to get bored of dinosaurs? Doesn't need to be all these flashing lights and shiny new DNA. So, the Tyrannosaur. That's what we have on these napkins. We also have a couple of pterosaurs on there. And we do have a large bird cage that visitors can get to. Again, by fixed transport. This time it's little dinghies that you go through on the water under the bird cage, and then you emerge on the other side. No, they can't get out, but they can't swim. So we use the river for their food supply, because they eat the fish, and for the tourists and the visitors to see. So these are the napkins. Got this one on the other side. It's also got a triceratops and some of the little dinosaurs. People like the party supplies, so the napkins.
Hello?
Oh, excuse
Hello,
me.
Jen?
Go ahead.
The fences are... I can't...
You're cutting out because of the weather. Can you repeat that?
I think that the backup generator... The fences are...
Something about the fences.
Can you hear me? The rain's getting heavier and I'm gonna have to...
Hi, you're breaking up. If it's about the fences, just make sure the backup generators are on. The power should be fine as long as they've been charged, which they have. Okay. Sorry about that. Right, other party supplies. I've got some down here to show you, just some of the overstock. We have the paper plates. So it's just the same design as the napkins. People that have been here tend to throw parties when they get back for their children's friends, for example, who didn't get to come. And all of that is still advertising, because then the parents are like, oh, well, we should go as well. It's all, clever advertising. These are just your generic paper plates, and we do the larger ones as well. we don't name the dinosaurs. We just go by species. So we have 2 tyrannosaurs at the moment in the Tyrannosaur paddock, and they're T1 and T2. Yes, so these are the large pip plates. And we can also do them as a set if people want things like that. Just kind of try and familiarise yourself with the gifts and the various offers and things we have on at the moment. Yes, so we have the paper cups, which again have our wonderful T-Rex on. There's a few different designs that we see. Oh yes, the other design there. If you can see, it's got the other T-Rex. No, these aren't the animals in the park. These are just kind of artist renders of them. So, yeah. One of our most popular sellers is, of course, the Lego. This is what the cars looked like in the original park. Yes, so these are the original 4x4s that they used on the tracks. We don't use the same model anymore. We use ones that are titanium reinforced. None of the windows open. They all have bars across the windows. We've got rid of the glass roofs as well. It was obviously, overlooked by the original designers. So no more glass roofs. It's all reinforced. Even the wheels on the new vehicles are pretty much impossible to burst. So yeah, we sell the Lego sets, this and the various dinosaurs that you can make and build. Yes, so we do nighttime tours. Tours go on, as far as transport kind of self-tour, they go on until 7:30. So in the winter it does get slightly dark, but you don't need to worry. All the vehicles have lights. All of the trails have lights. We have the extra bright ones that we can turn on if there was an issue. We can do that all from the control room. And we do have some of the park rangers that go out in the non-fixed vehicles to go and check on things. Everything has been thought of. You don't need to worry about your safety or any of the guests' safety. Okay. We also do these little wooden music boxes, again with our logo on. We decided to go back to the name Jurassic Park. Now it might have not so great connotations, but we feel the original idea was the best. We've just improved upon it. So that's our little music box. It's actually got one of the raptors on this one. The raptors are a big hit. Then we have one of our Jurassic Park books. And this has various information, things about the dinosaurs. We do have some images from the original park. So we've got John Hammond looking after hatchling. We've got the raptor enclosure. I don't know if you know about the original group that came to visit before the park was open. Well, the original park never actually opened, but this team are what helped us get better and understand what we needed in the park. Things like our control room, tour surveillance. It hasn't changed that much since the original. It's just got a little more high tech. We also have some images of the dinosaurs, velociraptors, of course. And we do have our trained vets at work. Yes. So at the moment, Harding is our vet. Yes, we do have 3 others that come and go from the island, but our main vet is Harding, and he works on any of the animals anytime they're sick. They need to be treated for various illnesses, things like that. We also do things like large cups, so we do the plastic cups. As you can see, it's got the little dinosaur in the top. And then we have the fossils all around, and it says, anything is fossilable. I don't know who came up with that pun, but there you go. It's a very popular item. People do collect tumblers, yeah, and we do try and highlight the fossils because we wouldn't be here without them and without the wonderful work of our paleontologists, so we do like to highlight those. We have a few fossils that you can buy and things like that. We have things like jewellery. So we have the more childlike jewellery, but anybody can buy it. So we've got things like this, the cute triceratops. The baby triceratops are very popular. We have the petting zoo, which has baby triceratops, brachiosaurus, some of them are which you can ride. We took that from Jurassic World because it was a huge hit. We do have compies, yes. They are not supposed to roam free, but they always tend to get out of their enclosure, so they do roam free, but they are an animal that helps us clear away the waste and things, so they don't tend to come into the main area of the park simply because there's so many people and it's crowded and loud, and they don't like that at all, so they're on the lesser trails. And we do bags. So we do have a few variants of the dinosaur bags. This one is, of course, our very popular Stegosaurus. Yeah, people tend to think they're quite cute. And they are one that we allow people to pet when they're babies. Stegosaurus are quite placid, but they are extremely protective of the weak and the younger ones in the herd. So, although they may look very cute and aesthetic, they are not one to be trifled with. But of course, we love the bags. And the final thing that I wanted to show you, obviously there's a lot more in the various sections of the shop that you can keep a lookout for. And last one though is our makeup palette. Thankfully social media has made this go quite viral. So we have the makeup palette. It's a pop-up. So it has our different dinosaurs, our gate. We even have Mr. DNA over here. Popular with the kids, yeah. And these are all the different colours in the palette. So you can see it's got the claw marks and things. Very cute. So now that I've shown you all of that, how are you feeling about working in the gift shop? Yes, we do have the tills, the cash registers over there, so that's fine. There's also a self-checkout area. You might be asked to kind of just keep an eye on that now and then. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about our various dinosaurs that we have now, if that's alright. First one is one of our most popular. It's the Triceratops. They may look extremely hazardous, and they can be if they're in a bad mood, but that's very unusual. They're usually very placid, they enjoy attention. The young ones are the ones that the kids can ride in the petting zoo. So they're about 8 to 9 metres long, weigh up to 6 to 10 tonnes. They're a herbivore and very protective of their young. As I said, the herbivores are placid, but there's always a but. So just make sure that if there are newborns amongst them, that we kind of keep our distance. Stegosaurus, another one of our popular ones, measure about 7.5 metres, weighing over 5 metric tons. Yeah, and these are a little faster than the Triceratops, so you could maybe outrun a trike, but I would rather climb a tree if I was being chased by a stegosaurus. Excuse me. Sorry, can you repeat that?
I'm gonna have to go. We're by the paddock. I don't.
This is gift shop to control room. Gift shop to control room.
Go ahead.
Hi, could you just make sure Abby's okay? Her radio keeps cutting out. Could you just have a look for me, please? Thanks. Over. Yes, herbivores. They're a herd species. They do have extremely powerful tails. We've had one injury when we were changing them from one enclosure to another, transferring them. Their tails accidentally swiped, took a man out, knocked him unconscious. He's totally fine now, but it's not great, so just be aware. Okay. Brachiosaurus, one of our cutest dinosaurs in my opinion. They're just like a big cow. Very friendly. They'll lean down and let the visitors touch them. Yeah. You see these by going down the river. So once you've passed the bird cage, you go past the Brachiosaurus head. 18 and 22 meters tall. Long, sorry. But also tall when they lift up. They're a herbivore, extremely placid, like I said. Another powerful tail. So in order to balance out the long neck, they have a long tail. This is what they use to fight off predators. Not that they need to here, because we don't mix the carnivores and herbivores. But if you happen to need to go through to, for example, chop down a tree or something, be mindful of the tails. And here we have Velociraptor. We don't actually have a photograph of our Velociraptors because they are extremely clever, first of all, and they hide whenever they see us with the camera, so just imagine what they look like. 1.5 to 2.7 meters long, body mass of around 14 to 19 kilograms. They're a carnivore, a hunter, highly intelligent. We have them in a very specifically made paddock just for them. We drop in their food from a height where they can't jump, because if they could, they would. Just be very aware around the raptor paddock. They will try and use things to trick you. They have been known to lay traps. Yes, very intelligent creatures, not to be trifled with. And the last two I wanted to talk about, these aren't all of our dinosaurs, we have over 15 species, but these are the main ones that people tend to ask about. Dilophosaurus, another of our carnivores. They look a little different here. If you see them, they might have the great fan out around the head. Yes. Carnivore, they're a scavenger, so they won't really hunt. They'll kind of scavenge for dead animals and things. 7 meters in length, with a weight of about 400 kilograms. Quite big. And they're also venomous. So they can secrete a venom from their mouths, which they can spit up to 5 meters, and if left untreated, it can be blinding and sometimes paralyzing. So just be aware. Finally, we have our most popular dinosaur, the Tyrannosaurus. We have 2 of these, as I said. We do have a newborn, the first in a few years, and we will be trying to introduce that later this week. Yes, so when we introduce a new animal, the older animals take it in as their own. Maternal instincts kick in and they just assume it's theirs, so they become very protective of it, especially the Tyrannosaurs. We did unfortunately lose a baby last year, which is why we're introducing a new one. And they do tend to pine after it, so we're introducing a new one. It is getting shipped over today, and we're going to keep it in the nursery area until we put it in with the paddock and the T-Rex. So they're a carnivore, they're a hunter. Speed up to 30 miles per hour. We have clocked them at 32 miles an hour. Very fast for such a big creature. You'll definitely hear them coming before you see them because of how heavy they are. I think that was maybe just thunder. So how does everything sound to you? Is that okay? You think you'll quite enjoy it? I guarantee you're going to enjoy it here. I absolutely love it. It's the best thing I ever did. Yeah. Sorry. Gift shop to control room. Gift shop to Abby.
I don't know what to do. The fence. No, generator.
Jen to Abby.
Oh my god. Oh, Jesus. Oh god.
Oh god.